Hey everyone, so today we are going to look at solving one-step equations. Before we do that though, we have to figure out what's happening to our variable. Before we can get the variable alone, we need to figure out what's going on. So you'll notice here, negative 5x equals 10. What's negative 5 doing to x? Well, x is being multiplied by that negative 5. In our second example, we see negative 12 plus x equals 8. Maybe you can see what's going on already. Maybe you know how to get the x alone. But if I rewrite this as x minus 12 equals 8, you can tell that that 12 is being taken away or subtracted from x. And after you answer that question, what's happening to my variable, you can ask yourself, what do I have to do to get that x alone? How do I undo what's going on? And so in order to undo addition, I need to subtract. In order to undo subtraction, I need to add. In order to undo multiplication, I need to divide. To undo division, I multiply. I think you guys all know that already. And I added this last one to help some of us out. To undo multiplication by a fraction, if your variable is being multiplied by a fraction, you need to divide. But how do you divide fractions? You multiply by the reciprocal. And very important here, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. I'm going to highlight that because it's so important. Remember, if you add 2 to one side, you have to add 2 to the other. An equation is all about balance. So you have to find that balance. And in order to do that, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So I am going to work through number 1, number 2, and number 6 for you guys. And 3, 4, 5 are going to be practice for you guys as you're watching this video. So, in number 1, you got h minus 12 equals negative 27. So, what's happening to h? 12 is being taken away from it. So, to undo subtraction, I need to add 12 to both sides. So, h equals negative 27 plus 12. That's going to give me negative 15. Boom. That's all it is. All right, and remember, you can check your answers in this. That's why math is so great, because you can always check your answers. So if I plug in negative 15 back in for h, does negative 15 minus 12, does that equal negative 27? Well, if I simplify this, then yes, it does. You should always check your work, whether you're using a calculator or just doing it off to the side in yellow like I just did. Always check your work. So now we come up to number 2. Number 2 is saying negative 75 is equal to negative 15b. Well, what's negative 15 doing to b? It's multiplying, so to undo multiplication, I need to divide both sides by negative 15. So that's going to leave b by itself on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side, I got negative 75 divided by negative 15. So that's going to give me an answer of 5. And I'm going to jump down to 6. I'm going to change colors real quick. Okay, so here I have a fraction that's multiplying my variable, and it equals 2/3. So the first thing I have to do is I need to get this to be an improper fraction. Okay, and once I get that to be an improper fraction, to undo fraction multiplication, I need to multiply. Oops, sorry about that. I need to multiply by the reciprocal. And when I do that, k equals negative 16 over 33. So take a quick second, work on 3, 4, and 5, and I will throw up my answers in a quick second after you work on that. So double check your answers on 3, 4, and 5 with the work up here. Make sure, as always, if you have any questions, jot those down. Make sure you ask me on the next day or whenever I see you next. All right? Be safe, be good, do good. Peace.